All right, Todd, you're standing in front of the brand new 2014 Forester. What makes this better than the 2013?
What doesn't make it better than the 2013? This car is better in every way. So the first up, I guess we can start with the engine. The engine is the 2.5 liter FB series engine that was used in the outgoing model. However, in this case, it's hooked up to our all-new Lineartronic CVT or a 6-speed manual transmission, both giving the car fuel economy increases over the outgoing car.
And what are the fuel economy numbers?
So for the CVT model, in naturally aspirated, it's 32 miles per gallon on the highway, which is best in class.
And how about the turbo?
The turbo miles per gallon on the highway is 28, 23 in the city, and those numbers are actually better than the outgoing naturally aspirated car.
And how much power do the two engines produce, the non-turbo as well as the turbo?
So the non-turbo is 170 horsepower, and the turbo is 250.
All right, so tell me about the CVT. What makes it so special?
Well, the CVT, it's our Lineartronic CVT, and that gives a broad ratio coverage and allows us to get both performance and fuel economy with the vehicle. So despite the 32 mile per gallon fuel economy number that we have, we don't lose any performance. The car is actually faster than the outgoing model.
Do me a favor, close the hood, and this is the non-turbo version, but there's no hood scoop on the turbo version. Why did you decide to get rid of that?
A couple of reasons. So with this car, the hood is higher up than the outgoing car, and we didn't want to block the visibility. And we do know that some of our buyers actually preferred the cleaner look without the hood scoop.
So how can you tell a turbo from a non-turbo?
So what we did is on the turbo, we completely changed the front and rear fascia of the car. So the turbo has a much more aggressive front fascia, and the rear, it has dual exhaust.
Oh man, I thought you were going to say it sounds better.
Well, that too.
Let's go around and kind of walk me through the car. I think it's about an inch taller, inch wider, inch longer, about, give or take. I know it's not
so
being...
The wheelbase grows an inch. The overall length grows almost an inch and a half. Same with the height, and the width is about a half inch wider. So packaging is one of the strong points with Forester, and we wanted to make that better with this new car. So a couple of things we did. We moved the A-pillar forward about 8 inches, similar to what we did on Impreza. We moved the mirror from the A-pillar to the door and added the quarter window, which helps visibility to the front left and front right. As a result of all that, we were able to make the door opening about 5 inches wider and gave it a nice generous opening. So getting in and out of the car is going to be easier than with the old car. Additionally, we lowered the sill height, so stepping out from the inside it's lower, and also going out from in it's lower. The seat height, the H point, is about an inch up, just over an inch. So getting in the car, you almost just slide in, very easy and ergonomic. And also we adopted a clean sill design, and by that I mean the door goes all the way to the bottom of the body, not stopping here like on the outgoing car. And what that gives you is a sill that remains free of dirt and dust, so when you get out of the car, your pants legs stay clean.
Now tell me about the all-wheel drive system. I mean, that's something that Subaru has always been known for. Have you tweaked it?
We did. We added additional inputs to our all-wheel drive system. Our old one reacted to wheel slip and differential between wheel speeds, front and rear and left and right. Our new system now uses inputs from our VDC system, so it can detect yaw and steering angle and other inputs. That's going to let it react faster and better than the old system. And you're really going to notice that on kind of low friction, slippery, curvy roads when going around a turn.
Now, obviously, this car competes with cars like the Honda CR-V, the Ford Escape, and of course the upcoming new RAV4. So what makes this better? Why would a person want to buy this over any of those cars?
Okay, well, we've got the packaging and utility that only Subaru can provide. We've got basically a shape that lets you fit all the things that you want to in your life in and out of the car. We also do that while maintaining a priority on visibility. So our A-pillars, in addition to getting further forward, they're a little bit narrower, and this quarter glass helps visibility to the front. The higher seating position helps visibility all the way around, and our D-pillar design gives us a nice big glass to help visibility to the rear, and our rear glass also remains large. We use a lot of high-strength steel in our pillars, so all of our pillars are thinner than a lot of our competitors. So you've got a lot of visibility, and in terms of packaging, with the rear seats folded, we've got best-in-class 74.7 cubic feet. In terms of performance, again with our 32 miles per gallon highway, that's better fuel economy than most of our front-wheel drive competitors.
All right, Todd, so what are the combined numbers, EPA?
So combined numbers for the manual transmission model, it's 24 combined. For the CVT model, it's 27 combined. And for the turbo, it's 25.
Now, did you make any changes in the interior?
We made a bunch of changes to the interior to enhance usability, packaging, and space, and also interior quality and NVH. So overall, the car is going to be much quieter than the outgoing model. The top surface of the dash is moved forward versus the outgoing model, so it's going to give you more of a feeling of spaciousness. We lowered it a little bit, also helping the visibility.
Is that new is the panoramic roof new?
So the panoramic moonroof is not new. We had that on the outgoing model. It is a slightly bigger on this model.
I see. And how about the materials? Did you upgrade those at all?
We did. We upgraded the materials. So again, we went to the soft touch dash. We went to nicer materials on the center console and the door panels. More soft touch in more places.
And tell me about the special feature on the trunk in the back, because there's a way you can actually close that without having to use a power option, which is unique, because a lot of times when people try to do it manually, it kind of gets stuck.
Okay, yeah, so one of the features with this car...
I'm going to go around this way, sorry. I'll get you in the sun. Yeah, okay, go ahead.
One of the features that we're offering with the new Forester is a power rear gate. So this is a feature that a few competitors have, but in general, it's not very common in this class. So as you can see, it can be opened easily and effortlessly just by the push of a button. We've got buttons inside the car and on the inside and outside of the rear gate. But one unique feature of ours that some of our competitors don't offer is if you want to use it like a regular conventional rear gate, you don't have to do anything special. You can just close it like a regular gate. Next up, a big part of our Subaru story is our symmetrical all-wheel drive system. So we didn't leave that out. We made a number of improvements there. Our new generation system uses VDC inputs, whereas our previous system just used input torque and differential speed information from the wheels to kind of react. But our new system adds inputs from the VDC system: steering wheel angle, yaw rate, transverse acceleration. And because of these extra inputs, it can react faster and quicker and better than the outgoing system. It's going to give you improved traction and handling in low friction environments. And it's really going to make a difference when you're driving kind of in slippery conditions and going around a curve. It's just going to react a lot better in those conditions. Also, with our symmetrical all-wheel drive, we retain our 8.7 inches of ground clearance, which is the highest among all of our competitors. And next, we added a new feature to enhance the capability of our symmetrical all-wheel drive system. We're going to call it X-Mode. And what that's going to do is it's going to give you extra capability in low friction environments. Basically, X-Mode is going to adjust control of the engine, transmission, all-wheel drive system, brakes, VDC, and other components to enhance performance on slippery surfaces, steep inclines, and give the driver added confidence and reduced wheel slip. So, very simple to operate. There's a button on the center console. Once you press this button, which you can do, basically this system is designed for use at low speeds. So it works below 25 miles per hour, and you can turn it on below 13 miles per hour, anywhere from 0 to 13. So you'll push this button, and it's generally going to reduce the accelerator input, so it's going to allow for more fine control of the throttle opening position. And it's also going to add a hill descent control feature to maintain starting speed when descending a slope or a steep grade. Overall, we're targeting best-in-class off-road performance. So, a little more detail. I know this is a bit of an eye chart. I couldn't make the text any bigger. So, what are the things that X-Mode changes? Well, first up, our ECU. It's got a dedicated throttle profile for X-Mode. It's going to give you kind of enhanced accelerator control at low load. So again, generally it's going to give you that kind of slower, more fine-tuned reaction when you press the accelerator. However, if the vehicle senses that you're in kind of a higher load condition, like you're trying to go over a rock or a curb or some kind of obstacle, it'll actually give you a quicker throttle opening in those cases to help you climb over the obstacle. Next up, on the transmission control unit, our all-wheel drive clutch pressure is increased about 25% to reduce differential rotation between front and rear wheels. And the transmission gear ratio is shifted to be a lower gear ratio and no torque converter lockup. Next up, our VDC system is going to give you enhanced control to simulate the function of a limited slip differential. So it's going to use dedicated brake controls to reduce the difference in rotation between the left and right wheels. And also our VDC system is going to use enable hill descent control to maintain constant speed while driving downhill. In that case, the driver only needs to steer the vehicle to safely descend. And another part of X-Mode is on vehicles so equipped, we've got our multifunction display in the center of the dash, and that's going to show you on the screen whether you're using hill descent control and what X-Mode is doing. It's going to give you some feedback as far as what's going on. So with that, we took some competitors and we took them on our course at our proving grounds to see how well we could do. And we kind of set an internal benchmark as performing as well as a Land Cruiser in off-road performance. So the first thing we did is we put it up on our climb. It's a 30% grade with gravel, and only the Forester and the Land Cruiser made it up. The CRV, the RAV4, and this is the outgoing RAV4. We did not have a new one at this time, and the Tiguan couldn't make it up that kind of grade in that kind of condition. After that, we took the vehicles on some uneven, very rough roadways, and Forester was able to navigate, Land Cruiser was able to navigate, and CRV was able to navigate, but only with an expert driver, not with an average driver. And one of our kind of goals with X-Mode is to not just enhance the performance for an expert driver, but such that any driver could handle these obstacles. And then lastly, we put the car on our diagonal free roller where the opposing opposite wheels are on rollers, and try to drive the vehicles up. And in terms of getting up the rollers, Forester and Land Cruiser were both about 3 seconds. CRV and Tiguan a little bit longer, and RAV4, the outgoing one, was not able to negotiate that. In terms of the maximum slope angle, both Forester and Land Cruiser was over 36%, with the competitors all being much less than that. So very useful feature and good function in those really slippery conditions.